Howdy, light travelers. Welcome back to the Arizona show here on the channel. It is I, your favorite fedora-wearing host, coming at you with another video. And in today's video, we are here just outside the Grand Canyon National Park in the gateway town of Tucson. And our goal today is not to go inside the park, no. Just outside of the national park, there is a whole bunch of Forest Service land. And what that means to some of you, and to some of you who may not know, free camping. Yes, there's loads of free camping. That's just minutes from the Grand Canyon. And in today's video, I'm going to show you where you can find it. So that's why we're here in the camping mobile today. We're going to go on a little bit of an adventure, and I'm going to show you some of those great free camping spots that even the camping mobile can access, and you can too. Without further ado, let's go ahead and start looking. So this right here, as previously mentioned, is the gateway town into the Grand Canyon. This is called Tucson, and there's a few hundred people that live here. Basically, it's just a home for a whole bunch of hotels just outside of the national park, and some restaurants, and some really, really overpriced camping stuff. Basically, what I would say for this town is only stop if you really have to. You know, I wouldn't, if you're trying to stay on a budget like me, I wouldn't buy anything here. I wouldn't stay here, only if you have to, just because they do take advantage of the fact of that they're the only real outfitter place for an hour. I mean, the closest other town is going to be Williams, which is about an hour south of here. So I would definitely avoid, if you're on a budget like me, spending a whole bunch of money in this town, because your dollar is not going to go as far here as it will in a place that's further away. After just passing through Tucson, our first spot is going to be just up the road here a little bit, and it's a little area called Long Jim Road or Long Jim Canyon. And we're going to take a left here in just a second and go down in there. So that's the north access point to Long Jim Road, and you do have to go down a little bit. That's what I'm doing right now. But basically, you get the gist of what the entrance looks like. It's just a turn off of the main road, and there's a few potholes that you have to contend with, but it's nothing that any vehicle can't handle just fine. And there's quite a few spots down in here. I'll actually get out here in just a second and show you kind of what the area looks like. Now, one thing I will say is this is a very popular camping area, which makes sense because this is the closest camping spot that's free to the park. The entrance is actually just about a mile back in the other direction. So we're real close right here. Let's have a little bit of a look around out here, shall we? Here we are. This is Long Jim Road. And we parked right here, not really in a spot. I guess you can consider that a spot. But there's quite a few spots back up along here. There's a few that way around the corner. But basically, you've got roadside pull-offs for the most part. You can even see someone's driven right through here. This is kind of just fair game. A lot of this is pretty well trafficked. So there's a lot of spots along this road. You can see all the way up there, we've got a spot. And then all the way back here, there's a van back in there. You can go down this little gully right here, I guess you'd call that. But yeah, that's Long Jim Road, nestled here in the forest. If I was out here doing dispersed camping, I probably would not recommend this spot in my interest, just because there, like I mentioned earlier, there's quite a few people here always, so it's not going to be really quiet. But if that's something that you're totally okay with, or you're just caring about being that close to the national park, then by all means do it. Or if you're just starting out at this is a good beginner spot right here. That's pretty much Long Jim Road for you. There's a few more spots up and down that I'll probably show as I go out, but it's pretty easy. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just come down this road and there's a few spots for you. And on the way out, I'll show y'all some of the other access points. That way y'all could see other ways to get in here. As you can see, we've got even more spots there off to the right. And coming up the road here, there's still quite a bit more. It's actually kind of empty here today. There's usually more people here. All right, so I'll show you the other access point. So now we're going the other direction. We're going south on Long Gym Road, and then eventually you'll come here to what looks like a little subdivision, and you're presented with two options here. They're both go the same place. We're just going to take a left here instead of going straight, because I'll show you where it spits out at and that we've already been there. Coming up here around the corner, you're going to see like a road construction block right here off to your left. On the other side, it does say local traffic only. In my experience, you can go past that as long as you aren't making that big of a deal about it. It's mainly to keep people from cruising and also to keep people from getting around the lines at the national park. And once you go over about 20 million speed bumps, you'll be right back out here to the main road, Highway 64. You'll recognize where we are just here in a second. Yeah, we're back here. This is the main town right here that we just drove through. And that's how you get back out from Long Gym Road. This next spot is real close by. You actually don't even have to go on this road for more than a quarter mile. And this next spot is going to be Forest Road 302. So just after taking a ride on Route 64, or it'll be your first ride if you come through the roundabout from the south right here. Here we are, 302. I know you probably can't see a whole lot because the sun's right in your face, but basically you just come up around this corner. There's a few big potholes there at the entrance that I forget about every time I come up this road. So you'll just come up here around the corner, and then we will see some good free camping spots. So here we are up at the top of this little hill right here, and this is where you're gonna find a lot of the spots. Now, you're gonna notice that some of these, they have these big divots right here, and that means in vehicles like my car, you're not gonna be able to get in those guys. So your options are a little bit fewer on this road right here if you're trying to free camp, if you don't have a whole lot of clearance, but there are still some spots around here. You can see we've got some vans and RVs over here to this side. I'm gonna go ahead and go down here to my favorite spot so I can show you all of that, because it's a good one. Now there's somebody in it, so I'm not gonna get out, but that's my favorite spot right there. Right here, there's even what looks to be a spot. You can probably go up in there. I don't see anybody up in there, so maybe let's get out and go investigate. It looks like to me here, if you've got high clearance or four-wheel or both, you're probably just fine. Oh, that's a good spot right over here. If I was comfortable that I can make it up here, this right here would be my spot. I like this one right here. Kind of tucked away back from, this actually might be like an OHV thing, I don't know, but this would be my spot right here. The further you go back down here on 302, the more spots there are, and you can get really, really far away from just about everybody. There are a few patches of private land back in there, but they're well marked. I've walked back in there. I can't take my car back in there because it won't make it, but just know that that's the case. So you can pretty much go as far back as you want. It goes about 3 miles back before you hit that private land. The only negative thing about 302 is the helicopter tours for the Grand Canyon. They take off at the airport, which is a couple miles that way, and this is their path that they usually come. So after about 8 o'clock in the morning, it sounds like you know, you're on an Air Force base. So just keep that in mind. The next spot is a little bit further away from the entrance to the park, but that's going to give you a little bit more seclusion as I turn here onto the main road once all the traffic goes. Hold on. And this next spot is going to be called Burnt Tree Road, and well, you'll see why. From the editor here in post, because I forgot I got this on camera, but watch this white car engage in some typical Grand Canyon area driver behavior, which means impatient, very impatient. Moving a little bit further south now, we come to Burnt Tree Road, and this one, if you're going south like I'm going right now, is going to be just past the 10X campground. But if you're going north, it's going to be about 1.5 miles before you get to Tucson. You literally cannot miss this turnout because there's a big old burnt tree right there. So there's your indicator, Burnt Tree Road. And this one's got loads of free camping up and down it. And this is probably your most secluded option in terms of areas to camp that are free out here by the Grand Canyon. Let me show you what a few of the sites are looking like. So as you can see off to the right, we got some RVs. And even up here on the left side, there's a few people here, which doesn't surprise me. But yeah, that's about what this one's like. I personally haven't camped at this one, so I don't know a whole lot about where the good spots are. The other two I have, this one not so much. Even these ones right here are taken. It kind of goes back in there a little bit. You can see there's some more spots off to the right here. And it pretty much goes like this up and down the road. There's even some way back in there. But that's pretty much what this one entails, is camping just along this road right here. And you'll be able to find a spot pretty easy. That's pretty much going to do it. Those are the 3 closest spots you can camp for free to the Grand Canyon. I hope y'all enjoyed this video and it helped you out a little bit. If it did, or if you enjoyed, maybe hit that like button, drop a comment down there, consider subscribing. All 3 are free. But anyways, that's going to do it for me here today on Travel Light Adventures. Y'all travel light, everybody.